state from the onset that the Diocese of Scranton fully cooperated with the grand jury investigation, beginning when we first received the subpoena regarding the grand jury on September 1st, 2016. We offered over 250,000 pages of documents spanning 70 years. The details of the report, as you have heard, are horrific, they are heartbreaking, and they are demoralizing. They reflect a very dark period in the history of the Catholic Church, and I dare say that in the history of the Diocese of Scranton, which is 150 years old this year, this by far is the darkest moment in our history. I apologize this afternoon. I apologize to victims. No words that I share will ever be able to take away the pain that you have and continue to experience in your lives. Nor can I fully understand and appreciate what you have and continue to go through. But you need to hear from me that not only do we apologize, but the Church clearly let you down when individuals whom you should have been able to trust stole your childhood and stole some of the heart and soul of any human being's life. I apologize to the families of victims. One can only imagine what you have gone through as you have watched individuals that you love suffer so senselessly as innocent victims. I apologize to the parishioners and faithful of the Diocese of Scranton. You look to your church as a source of consolation and peace, and you don't deserve to hear the contents of this report as you gather to pray each day in our parishes. And finally, I apologize to the community at large. Such actions that are reported in the grand jury report have no place in a civilized society. They certainly don't have any place in the church, where individuals who put themselves before us as those that should be able to be trusted as they lead us through life betrayed that trust. This is a difficult time. It's a difficult time for all of us. But we must face this reality if we are ever to move forward. The Attorney General talked earlier today that the goals of the grand jury were that disclosure of abuse would finally come to pass by victims, and that hopefully the grand jury would ensure that abuse never happens again. In this difficult time, if there are any positive things that can be drawn from this moment, it is that victims finally have their voices being heard individually and collectively, and are being listened to and understood and validated. And this report also underscores the value of the many, many good efforts that have been put forth by the Church in the last 15 to 20 years to stop abuse once and for all. You should know that over 90% of the cases that were described in this report pertaining to the Diocese of Scranton took place prior to the year 2000. That's a very important signal to me that the efforts that we have been about these past 2 decades almost are in fact working. And we do respond to allegations of abuse in a very different way. We respond openly, quickly, and transparently. We gather information. We immediately, and sometimes within the course of minutes, contact law enforcement. We contact Childline immediately. When we are given the go-ahead by law enforcement, we immediately, often within hours, remove a credibly accused individual, or for that matter, any accused individual before the investigation starts. We transparently share this information with our parishioners and also with the media, and we move forward in a transparent way with civil and canonical investigations. Simply put, my friends, abuse cannot be tolerated in our church. It has no place in any part of civilized society, but especially not within a church that speaks about respect for human life over and over again. And then in instances like we've seen reported in this report put out by the grand jury, stole that life away. There's no place for this in our church, and we will not stop until no child is abused. We will not stop our efforts moving forward until no abuser is protected. We have much work to do to continue to ensure that our children are safe and to continue to restore trust. But trust is not going to be restored in this church simply because I've said it. Trust will be restored when we earn it through our actions. Just today, I released a full list of names of credibly accused abusers in the Diocese of Scranton. That is the same list that I shared with every district attorney in our 11 counties long before the grand jury was convened. That list was shared. We shared that same list with the Attorney General's office, and today we put it out for the entire public to see. It is of note that in addition to those individuals named in the grand jury report, the list that I have made public today includes 9 additional credibly accused members of the clergy. So I thank you for listening, and with that I will open up